Hey, welcome into the PHNX Bets Daily podcast presented to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. I'm Johnny Venerable. Shane Diefenbach is off today. We are joined by Mr. Shawn DePaz in downtown Phoenix at the PHNX Bets headquarters. I was going to say Cardinals headquarters, but we're talking bets. And unfortunately on DraftKings right now, Shawn, you cannot bet and wager on who the new owner of the Phoenix Suns are going to be. But interesting topic nonetheless. But take a breather if everybody needs to from the Sarver news this morning.
Oh yeah, it was a little bit of a hectic morning. Did not expect that news to come this fast, but it, at least for me, is welcome news. So I'm here for it.
Absolutely. Joe in the chat, Shane off, no days off. Well, football season, you can always count on your boy Shane. Much deserved after his performance on Monday night and dominated me in Guess the Lines yesterday. It was unfortunate, Shawn. I suffered my first Guess the Lines loss of the season. I'm still up 2-1 over Shane. But here on PHNX Bets Daily, during the football season, we talk college football on Wednesdays. I've got my man Shawn of PHNX Sun Devils, and let's start there. Right now, the line has opened up for your precious ASU Sun Devils at plus 15 against the Utah Utes. Herm's gone. First game in the post-Herm Edwards era. Is this a line that you're going to dabble on initially, or is this something that maybe hold off on?
My co-hosts on the Sun Devil show, Shane and Totri, are under the impression that ASU is going to pull this one out somehow. I'm far less confident. I still think that Utah might be the best team in the conference, despite how dominant USC's offense has been. I get the whole interim coach bump that didn't do anything for Nebraska, though. But as Shane will point out, Nebraska has significantly worse players than Arizona State. At least he thinks so. But I don't really want anything to do with that. Until ASU proves otherwise, I just don't think they're going to have much for this Utah team. And I think there's a chance they get steamrolled, unfortunately.
You hate hearing that. What I will say is this. The stereotypical coach gets fired, team plays inspired football didn't work for Nebraska after Scott Frost got fired. That line, I think, started at 10 against Oklahoma, lowered down to about 7.5. I got it before game time, and the Sooners rolled over Nebraska. And I certainly wouldn't put Utah in the Oklahoma Sooners category, but they're still a very viable team, winners of the Pac-12 last couple of years. And I would probably stay away from that game, even though it's at Arizona State. Another game to look out for this weekend. U of A travels to Cal to take on a very feisty Cal team.
Yep.
I'm pretty amazed by this line. You're getting a lot of respect from the betting people, the bookers, for U of A, +3. So essentially, Cal is a home favorite of a field goal, which is par for the course. I'm tempted to take Cal. I think Arizona a little bit overrated in this spot.
I'm tempted to take Arizona, honestly. I think Cal is getting a little bit too much love for their close performance with Notre Dame, and I just don't. Notre Dame doesn't have a quarterback. They didn't have a quarterback to start their season, and then that quarterback got hurt, and they have even less of a quarterback. Notre Dame's defense is good, but that's why Cal only scored 17 points or whatever it was, I guess. I just don't. I think Arizona is a solid team. Jaden DeLora is, I don't necessarily know what you're going to get with him, but he has just a ton of weapons on that offense. I think I'm inclined to take U of A outright. I think they beat this Cal team. I think Cal is still bottom 3 in the conference. I'm not very high on them, despite them almost beating what I think is a bad Notre Dame team.
Couple moral victories for both of these teams to start the year. Joe in the chat says Arizona wins outright. He also says Devils cover, new coach, Utes on the road. Their first game in Tempe during September, in forever. Yeah, I mean, the Heat's an environment that absolutely could be the case. I would love to just see competitive games out of both of these two teams, especially ASU. ASU needs something to hang their hat on. You guys talk about it very well on the ASU podcast, Sun Devils podcast, that you got recruits watching now. Like, how are you going to respond? Is this a program that's on the rise, conceivably should have a new head coach by December, January, in time for recruiting season? Who's going to be around? Who's going to enter the transfer portal? That's going to be the interesting conversation amongst many. And right now, the conversation we're having here on PHNX Bets Daily is on DraftKings. If you're dabbling in any of these actions, or if you're looking ahead to Sunday's NFL slate, which we are. New customers on DraftKings can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win. Get $200 in free bets if they do. If that's not enough, everyone can boost their winning with DraftKings Step Up same game parlays. Right now, for every lay you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100%. I hit a couple parlays over the weekend. I'm going to dabble on this with bigger payouts than ever on DraftKings. It's why you really don't bet football anywhere else. And to make things even sweeter, you can throw down on Step Up same game parlays once per game day all season long. So it doesn't run out. Keep dabbling. It's simple. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code PHNX. That's promo code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See those show notes for details. All right, Shawnee, we got some games that we're going to dabble in come Saturday. What do you like?
I mean, I got to start with the alma mater. I know you like this one as well, but Syracuse University, they seem like they might be kind of a wagon. They look like one of the best teams in the ACC. Interestingly, the defense is solid. I have questions about quarterback Garrett Schrader, but they have one of the best running backs in the country in Sean Tucker. -9 against a bad Virginia team, I believe, right? That's what they're playing. Yeah, Virginia. Virginia is just not good. I mean, you look at their efficiency ratings. Syracuse is top 3 in the conference. You look at their FPI, they're 5th in the conference. I just think Syracuse is going to roll over a bad Virginia team that's bottom 3 in the conference in basically every metric. And then Wazoo money line playing Oregon. I know Oregon's supposed to be a good team, but I put a lot of value in quarterback play. Yeah. This game is in Pullman, so Wazoo's at home. Cam Ward is a very, very good quarterback. Bo Nix can be a very good quarterback, but he could also be the worst quarterback in the conference. You don't know what you're going to get with him any week. He played well last week, which to me suggests he's going to play poorly this week because he's so consistently inconsistent that if he played well last week, he's probably going to play poorly this week. The Ohio State hosting Wisconsin, I believe hosting Wisconsin, but I know they're playing Wisconsin. Significantly better team than this Wisconsin team. Wisconsin, a team that lost to Wazoo 2 weeks ago. I think I think Ohio State is going to roll -19. I think they win by 3, maybe 4 touchdowns. And then Tennessee, I know you and I are going head-to-head on this one. Tennessee, I'm not going to say Tennessee is back because they are the Texas of the SEC. Every time you think they're back, they are going to let you down. But this offense is really, really good. They're one of the most efficient offenses in the conference. And Florida is just kind of a stinker. They're just not a very good team. And Shane likes to throw out the stat that Anthony Richardson has more tackles than he does passing touchdowns. Thrown 4 interceptions, I believe. I just don't have a lot of faith in this Florida team. I think they just get kind of worse week by week. Again, looking at efficiency ratings, they're one of the worst in the conference. Tennessee is one of the best. Not going to say Tennessee is back yet, but they're like around the corner. They're coming home. They're almost back. So we'll see.
Interesting. I'm on you with a couple of things I disagree. We'll check to the chat here. Joe, lock of the week, Vandy plus 40.5 against Bama, the annual Saban gift to his donor as well. I think the gift already was that Texas cover earlier this year. I don't think Vandy covers. I do like this. Tyler Hodges, Syracuse going to the ACC championship game. I won a nice 3-team parlay that was capped by the Syracuse comeback. I thought they had blown it. They came back. They have a really nice quarterback. Their games in that building look like arena football. And give me teams that are exciting, score a bunch of points, and that leads me into my bets for this weekend. A couple of teams are excellent on offense, and some teams aren't, which is why let's go bottom to top. Rutgers money line is my lock of the week. They are going to beat Iowa. Iowa's got huge injury concerns. Rutgers is undefeated. Had a couple nice victories to begin the season. Greg Schiano, he's a real coach, and he thrives at this program. And I'm going to tell you definitively, like, is this the last year for Kirk Ferentz in Iowa? I think that just kind of the well has run dry. Let him go be an offensive line coach in the NFL. Let him go coach with his buddy Bill Belichick. And then I'm going to flip you. I'm going to phase you, Sean. I think Florida covers. I don't think they went outright, but I think outside of, that performance last week was not great. I think they get better quarterback play this week. The over-under is fun as hell. It's at 62. I'm just rooting for a good game, and I think that I think we could have a tight game going into the fourth quarter. We saw LSU bounce back. I think these SC teams, man, they just trade haymakers every week, unless you're Georgia. Georgia plays Kent State this week. 45. I don't usually like to swallow spreads this large. This has like 60-0 written all over it. The guys who are going to be playing second half, third and fourth quarter for Georgia, future first round picks, Kent State, future insurance salesman of America. Give me Georgia to cover this lofty spread, and give me Michigan to cover big at home against Maryland. Like, for the longest time, Harbaugh was not into style points. They would not win these games in these huge blowout fashion, but they finally has a quarterback now. They're still dominant at both lines of scrimmage. I think this is a 30-7 kind of game. I think Maryland really struggles to score. I know the over-under is robust at 65.5. To me, that says more about what Michigan's offense is going to do.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned it to kick things off. Syracuse rolls -9. I would even dabble. I know they didn't play well in the first half last week. Then they really turned it on. Tease that line up 10, 11, 12. Get better odds on DraftKings right now. Their money line is on -340. But Syracuse, just fun as hell to watch at the college level. The ACC, that doesn't have a ton of fun teams.
Yeah, no, that game against Purdue was one of the most electric college football games I have ever watched. It's also the only football game in which I have ever seen a team kick off from the opponent's 30 and kick off from their own 10. Well, Syracuse kicked off from the opponent's 30, Purdue kicked off from their own 10. It just went completely off the rails there. I can't tell you how much willpower it is taking for me not to start singing Syracuse's alma mater right now. It's an absolute banger. But it's exciting to enjoy Syracuse football because I have not been able to do that since they upset number 1 Clemson in the Carrier Dome while I was there, stormed the field, won a television, a 4K TV at that game. One of my best memories in college. Syracuse is a wagon, like I said.
Dino Babbers is their head coach, has been their head coach, I think, since like 2015, 2016. Yep. Still looking for his first ACC title. Of course, same conference with Clemson. That's going to be tough, but he is 2-0 in bowl games, and I like this team to win 9-10 games this year. I think they're going to be a top 25 team. Fun as hell. They're like teams like Syracuse is the best part of college football right now when there's so little parity and these top-heavy teams. It's the same teams every year, so silver linings are always fun. You know what's fun? Liking and subscribing to the PHNX Bets Daily podcast every day. Shawn, you and the ASU boys got a show later today?
Yep, 3:00. Live every day this week because we don't have we have an interim head coach, Sean Aguano. He's the guy. It's going to be a good show. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to talk about yet because there's so much to talk about. And also the Pac-12 might be doing a media deal with Amazon, which would be cool because I'd actually be able to watch games on the Pac-12 network for once. So we'll see. There's a lot going on in the world of ASU football right now. So yeah, join us on the PHNX YouTube page at 3 p.m.
Getting a check from Jeff Bezos at Amazon would be a good thing if you were the Pac-12 to help try to keep your relevancy and your conference alive. Would love to see that. Shano in the chat, he's off today. Apparently ASU is off tomorrow, so we'll see. Maybe you'll hire a new coach and you'll have breaking news. We have breaking news seemingly every hour here at PHNX Sports. Be sure to subscribe to PHNX Sports on YouTube. Keep it locked in for everything Sarver Gate. Selling a couple of his teams. Who's going to be in? Maybe Jeff Bezos buys the Phoenix Suns. Wouldn't that be something? You can check out PHNX Cardinals live today, 4 p.m. Myself, Bo Brock, Damian Anderson, as we get you prepped and ready for Cards hosting the LA Rams this weekend. But until then, for Shawn DePaz, I'm Johnny Venerable. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.